This is actually one of the most confusing makeup questions because most of the time people want one single rule. However, there are actually two different orders for two different goals. So it really depends on what your goal is. You can actually apply concealer before foundation or after foundation. Both are correct. The difference being in what you're trying to actually achieve. Are you going to be sculpting and building structure underneath the foundation? Or are you looking to kind of perfect and finish the base on top? The only time I actually recommend using concealer first before your foundation is if you are doing the underpainting technique. Otherwise, for most people, for everyday makeup, it's generally concealer after foundation. And that's what I'm going to be showing you today. If you love your makeup explained properly and in detail, please do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button because it means you're not going to miss my next video. Let me very quickly explain underpainting so that you're not completely thrown off by it. And then I'm going to show you the demonstration for the everyday style of makeup, the kind of goal that most people have, which is applying your concealer after foundation. For option A, which is concealer before foundation, it's concealer first, then foundation. Now, why do you actually do it this way for this specific technique? It's to underpaint, which basically means applying all of your cream finishes, such as blush, contour, and concealer first before you apply your foundation. It's to sculpt for a soft focus effect. It's to lift and also correct under the base. And what happens is when you put your foundation on top of all of that, it diffuses everything. So before you apply your foundation, everything would look really harsh and quite strong. But then the minute you apply a very light to medium coverage foundation, it literally diffuses and softens everything. It's quite a drastic transformation, but in a very soft way, rather than the type of transformation that takes you from looking like you've got no makeup on to wow, she looks like a different person. It's kind of like taking you from wow, there is so much kind of like strong pigment going on and harsh lines everywhere, to wow, she looks super soft focus. It creates a softer base because the veil of color, which is your foundation, sits on top. Underpainting is a great technique if you are looking to kind of really focus on your contour but make it look soft focus. It's a lot of it's the type of technique that a lot of makeup artists use for filming and things like that because it is a bit more, I would say, of a lengthy procedure. I'm saying this like this is like a kind of operation that we're doing, but it's generally like it takes a little bit longer than the everyday style of makeup. It's great if you want that natural blended into the skin kind of finish. And it's also amazing for the people who want definition and structure without it looking very obvious. The only thing with this is if you don't have a lot of experience in it and you haven't really got the hang of it and you don't understand it properly, it can work against you because what happens is you're so not used to like the amount of like the pigment and the colors and the amount of makeup that you're putting on before your foundation that you can go a little bit heavy-handed with it. You can end up not understanding the type of finishes and the type of opacity that you need in your textures that you're using. So if you don't understand any of all that, I would stay away from it. So I personally don't think that the underpainting routine, concealer before foundation, should be your default go-to goal for your foundation finish. I would only go for that if you really fully understand how it works. Let's talk about the technique, the goal that we are going to go for today, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. That is concealer after foundation. Let's talk about why we're going to do it this way and why this works for this type of goal that we want. Is foundation evens out your skin before you even go in with your concealer. So it kind of gives you the kind of coverage that you need without going over the top with your foundation usage, like how much you're applying. It kind of really does even the skin out to avoid you using too much concealer. Then, because of that, concealer ends up becoming your finishing tool, which means you're using the right amount of it. And you can brighten, lift, spot correct with it, do all the finishing things that you need to do. I would say this technique or goal is probably better for the everyday type of makeup look. So it's great if you want a no fuss technique. Great for mature skin, less creasing. Underpainting isn't necessarily the best option for mature skin. So this way around, concealer after foundation is probably a better option. Now, I do talk a lot about this kind of stuff, like really go into detail on my newsletter, thebeautybreakfastclub.com. Please head on over and subscribe. It's all about health, beauty, wellness, makeup, a bit of everything. A lot of kind of over 40 newsletters on there too. There's like a whole section for that, but also for everyday makeup anyway. And there's lots of tips and tricks and hacks and actually how-tos on there too, as well as great product recommendations and tried and tested. A lot of new products that you'll see there before you actually see on this channel. I would love you to head on over there. We've got a community of around 8,000 people. It blows my mind when I say that each time because I just cannot believe how many of you have actually come over there, and we're just creating this amazing community of inspiring, motivational, just really good people, because I've got to know so many of you through that on a personal one-to-one level, and it's free to subscribe. So you can actually subscribe for free, and that will give you access to like a newsletter every 10 days or so, which is free. But if you go for the paid version, it's the same as getting yourself one coffee a month. That's how much it costs, like literally getting yourself one coffee a month. But that unlocks the entire site. But the best thing is you get to join the group chat on the actual platform, where I'm on there too, and that's where we're all having loads of like really good chat about beauty and all sorts of stuff, you know, aging and all that kind of stuff. And I think you're gonna love it because everyone is actually really nice over there. It's such a nice community, like very helpful. People have really got to know each other, and it's nice because I get to actually answer your questions directly too. So I'd love you to head on over and subscribe to that. I've got my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip, and I just generally apply this through the middle, because I don't apply a lot of foundation around the perimeter of the face. So I've got my YSL All Hours Glow Foundation in MN8, and I've got my BK Beauty 106 brush. We're gonna get started along the center, and then spread it out, but work along the center first. I've just roughly tied my hair back. You're gonna have to excuse my hair. I don't think I've done this hairstyle in like years, where you just tie a little bit up. But I forgot how handy it is when you have short hair. Okay, so now I'm gonna just take whatever's left on the brush on the perimeter of the face. So it should be this, you know, the least amount of foundation along the perimeter. So we've got a nice veil. Can you see how that's evened out the skin tone? This is what I mean. It evens everything out. So it allows you to figure out how much concealer you actually do need. I do feel like if you're not 100% sure on, like, you know, things like how much concealer you need, or you end up with really heavy makeup sometimes, that's when I would stay away from the whole underpainting technique, because you need to really thoroughly understand it and understand each aspect of why you're applying each product in which place, and what kind of texture and opacity you need of each product. If you don't get that, then I would stay away from it. At this point, you want to check what needs concealer. For me, I would say my eye area to kind of get rid of the dark circles, and also I do want a bit of a lift with my concealer, because my foundation can't give that to me because of the placement being all over, whereas with concealer you can be very strategic with your placement. Because you've got a veil of color everywhere, which kind of gives you that really nice even finish, your concealer needs to be used in just the places you need it. So I'm only going to use it where I have the dark circles, and I want that to be nicely flawless, like flawed out. Flawed out? Is that a word? I don't think so. I don't think it is. I would not trust me when it comes to coming up with new words. So the other thing is, yeah, flawless you want right there. I just completely went off track there. And also you want it to be, I'm having that moment where you completely forget what you were saying. This happens a lot to me. Actually, it hasn't happened for quite a while. So it's just happened just now. Yeah, you want to, yeah, the places where I want to apply it, it's obviously where I want this to be like super flawless, or like flawless. And I also want a lift in certain areas. So those are the two places that I'm going to be applying it. So the concealer I'm going to go for is my Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer in 3N. Right, now what I want to do is apply this just in the areas that I need it. And that for me is going to be here for the coverage of the under eye, here for lift, and please note that I'm not going very close to my lower lash line, and then here for a lift. That's where I want to apply it. I'm going to get my Hollywood complexion brush from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm going to just buff this bit in, because I like to use a brush here most of the time. It's just easier. Then for my under eyes, I want to use my sponge. So this is where I'm going to get a damp sponge. I don't dampen it with water. It's dry initially, and then I spray it with my setting spray. I bounce it on the back of my hand just to make sure it's not too wet when it goes on my skin. And then I really kind of keep this concealer in this area, but I tap the sponge over it to just kind of give me that nice coverage and blend it, but it's never dragging on my skin. You can let the concealer sit for 30 seconds or so if you want it to thicken up slightly to give you more coverage. So don't always think that the only way to get more coverage is to apply more concealer. It's actually letting it sit for a little while so that it can kind of semi-set a little bit before you start blending, and that actually gives you more coverage. Can we see how we've got that nice coverage there now? Now whatever's left on this sponge, I'm actually going to take this onto the eyes, and what I tend to do is touch this eye and then go onto the other one so that I've got the kind of similar amount on each eye. Okay, at this point, you want to have a look. Do you want any other kind of cream products on before you actually set everything? I always think about what do I want to be my focal point between my bronzer and blush. So if I'm feeling I want to go more for a bronzed look, then I generally apply my cream blush first and then my bronzer. If I feel like I want my blush to come through a little bit more, then I apply my bronzer first and then my blush, right? So really think about what your preference is here. There's no right or wrong way as to whether you should apply your cream bronzer first or your cream blush first. It really is down to what you want to highlight more, you know? So I think I want my blush to be more of the kind of main character on my base today. So I'm going to apply my cream bronzer first. I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sunkissed Glow Bronzer in Tan. And I've got my Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette, brush. I always say palette. I get some product on there. Then I put it on the back of my hand so there's not too much. And then I just pat this on. I really just kind of push it into the skin. I don't drag because that's going to disturb everything underneath. And I take this along the perimeter. It just really warms up my face, and hopefully you can see immediately how this really does kind of stop your base from looking so flat. It just adds the color that you really need, and it makes you look very healthy. Okay, I'm gonna go for this blush because I'm actually loving it right now. This is my Patrick Tar Double Take Crème and Powder blush, but it's in She's Blushing, and I love this at the moment. So this is my Hourglass 15 brush. I take this and put some on the back of my hand. I feel like this is like the perfect blush color for tanned skin. It's so pretty. So do you see why I apply the bronzer first and then the blush if I want my blush to be the focal point? Because it's what stands out more. So the last product that you apply is what's going to stand out more between the bronzer and the blush. At this point, you can go into setting your base. You can use a loose powder or you can use a pressed powder. It's really up to you. I'm going to use my Huda Beauty Easy Bake pressed powder in Banana Bread, and I've got my Real Techniques brush, and I just basically get my sponge. Let's do my eyelids first. And then just take the creases out. Now you can actually use a puff on this bit if you want, because I feel like it really does set that well by using a puff. That's my Makeup by Mario Master Pro puff. And then I might actually do that on my under eyes too. So let's get rid of the creasing there. I think I'll use a puff there. That's what I love about this powder is you can use both a brush and a puff. Then I just take the brush and I take this through the center of the face mainly, because I don't really like a lot of powder around the edges. Let's just curl my lashes so that everything looks a bit more kind of cohesive and doesn't look like I've left something out. Now that you set this, you can go in if you want to with a little bit kind of bronzing powder, like if you want to like finish off with some more powder. Like you could get to this point and think to yourself, do you know what, I feel like I need a little bit more blush or a little bit more bronzer. So I just want to show you that quickly. Now in terms of a powder bronzer, I'm really actually loving this at the moment. It's actually the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Pressed Powder in Cinnamon Bun. It just looks really good on the skin. So I'm just going to add that. And then if you want more blush, I'm going to get my same blush that I was using before, but I'm going to use the powder and my Hourglass 15 brush. I have two of these brushes sitting around, by the way, so I don't use the same brush that I use in cream, then in powder. But you can go over with the powder if you just want to make it pop a bit more, like that. And there you have it. That is my finished base. I really just wanted to focus on the base. Hopefully you can see what I mean. Like you get that really nice flawless finish, but it doesn't look heavy. So this is basically how you would apply your concealer after foundation. Let's just go through a quick recap here so you understand and so that there's no confusion. If you want a naturally sculpted face and you really want to focus on your sculpting and you want to be able to really change the dimension of your face, I would go with underpainting, but please do your research and maybe watch some of my videos. Just search underpainting on my channel and it should come up with the right videos, and that will give you a really full in-depth understanding as to how underpainting works and how to do it. That will be your concealer first, all the cream products first, and then your foundation. If you want a clean everyday base that wears really well, then I would go for this, which is foundation first and then concealer on top. If you always crease on your under eyes, I would actually recommend foundation first and then concealer on top, because it means that you will avoid using too much concealer around the area. If you're trying to cover things like pigmentation, I would go with foundation first and then I would spot correct with a color corrector and or a concealer. So the answer isn't a universal rule, and this is why I really wanted to explain both techniques to you so that you understand it really depends on what you're after in terms of your result, your finished base goal. It's basically knowing what you're trying to achieve, and then you can figure out which one you want to go for. Concealer first before foundation is a very specific technique, underpainting. Concealer after foundation is kind of like the best everyday default, I would say, for like people who just want a general good everyday base that is not complicated. I really do hope that's helped today. Let me know if you have any questions, and don't forget everything's listed in my description, so you can click on the link and it will take you straight to it, along with some discount codes hidden in there somewhere, so make sure you check those too, and I will catch you on the next video.